spoiled living here around the glaciers, but to see a glacier is a pretty magnificent thing. Being able to get so close on a bicycle in the winter during frozen conditions is something that really draws people out.
I won't say it's spiritual, but it almost is, because it's undescribable, the beauty that's out there. So.
It's definitely a ride that requires some level of advice if you haven't done it yet.
Be cautious and be prepared. Like if you go through, it's nice to have some extra socks or those kind of things, so you're not going to have a frozen foot, at least quite as frozen a foot. Extra clothes is good.
Every time I do that ride, there's something different that presents itself as a challenge. It's the overflow or frozen conditions, it's the weather, or you know, maybe it's somebody's first time out there, and so the challenge is getting them there safely and making sure they have a good time.
I think as long as you stay away from the active zones and you're careful on the pressure ridges at Knik, you're going to be safe. A lot of times there's not a lot of nice days to get out there, so if you have that day and you know the conditions are good, you go. And it's in your backyard, and within an hour and a half, 2 hours, you're there. And the open water, while it's somewhat scary, it's just neat to hear it and see it, and everything else is frozen. Yeah, and it's special because you've got that running water, and then you have all this miles of ice and the mountains behind it, so I like that.
The whoa factor is real. The whoa factor is like, whoa.
Toward the center of the glacier, there's a huge section where it's really blue, old ice, and that stuff is really, it calves all the time.
Icebergs present a challenge because there's that educational process that needs to happen where people need to understand that the face of the glacier is an active field of ice moving.
The pressure ridge is like we were talking before. Even if it's a beaten path that everyone goes on, you still want to pay attention to it because it does change on a regular basis.